Hello, Broads. Wow, that was gorgeous. I like how I'm just here complimenting myself. Like, that just goes to show how alone I've been lately, that I'm just here giving myself compliments. Like, girl, that opera was so gorgeous. Anyways, the reason I hopped on here before the episode started was I know that a lot of you were expecting a Bachelor Goat recap episode drop today. And if you listened to last week's episode, Bekah and I were on the fence about recapping it because the episode that they dropped yesterday was the first ever Bachelor and first ever Bachelorette season. And we assumed it would be pretty slow because JoJo's recap last week was very slow. So we apologize. We're sure there were some very fun aspects to it. And we apologize if any of you broads were really looking forward to it. But we will be back in it next week. Starting next Tuesday, we'll be dropping those Bachelor Goat recap episodes once again. And we just wanted to take a quick moment too before this all starts to just say thank you for your flexibility the past, I don't know, like 3-4 months now. Obviously, a lot happened over the past few months, and starting, with the pandemic, and then that led to the Bachelorette season not airing and Bachelor in Paradise, so that changed our schedules a lot. Not being able to record in person and with certain guests, that changed a lot that we had planned, and then obviously with Bekah and Sweet Franklin, that required flexibility with our recording and scheduling, and she's been amazing through it. But yeah, there's just been a lot of moving parts, and we've had to be really flexible with how we record and who we record with and what we record, and change it kind of last minute. And I know that's then required flexibility from all of you, and just wanted to say a really big thank you to you all. It does not go unappreciated from both of us, feeling very safe in this space with our broad squad. And we just appreciate it. And we're hoping starting next week that we're going to really enter into a little more of our regularly scheduled programming, getting back into it. But, obviously things change and shift, and we're going to continue to try to be flexible with that. But that's the plan, and we'll continue to keep you all updated. But just wanted to say thank you. We do truly appreciate it. And speaking of that, Thursday's episode, the episode that will come out Thursday, we are recording a Ask Us Anything episode. So like I was saying before, obviously a lot has been going on in the world. A lot has been going on in our personal lives. And we just feel like we haven't really talked to you broads in the past few months, and we miss you. We want to talk with you. So please send us voice memos, written out questions to askthebroads@gmail.com. I'll put it in the episode notes. And ask us anything. Please feel free. Even if it's fun, goofy, silly, weird, whatever, bachelorette, bachelor questions, anything like that. But please feel free to ask us anything. And then on the flip side, any advice that you all might need in this time, or how you're feeling. Let us know how you're doing. Send us those messages. We just want to hear. We want to hear from you all. And so that'll be coming out Thursday. And then, like I said again, starting next week, we'll be hopefully back to regularly scheduled programming. But in the meantime, I'm going to shut up because you are in for a treat, because we have some amazing guests, and it was just nice to have a good laugh and take a deep breath and chat with some amazing moms. You're going to love them. So deep breath. Let's get into it, broads, and enjoy.
And welcome to another episode of Chatty Broads with Bekah and JESS.
Well, hello, broads. Listen, hi, B.
Good morning.
It's been a morning. We are here. Bekah is momming her face off.
Nothing but hiccups so far.
There were a lot of technical issues. There were children. I mean, everything's so. It's the perfect day to have two other mothers on who are probably dealing with some severe quarantine bullshit right now.
That's true. I was going to say there's probably no better guests to have on than two other moms, because no one else is going to give that much grace when things are running 30 minutes late.
No better guess. And also, we've been wanting to have these two on for months and months. And so I am so excited. I've been a huge fan of their podcast for a while now. It is Erica and Jamilah from Good Moms, Bad Choices. Thank you so much.
Hey, ladies. What's up, Chatty Broads?
What's going on? I mean, your guys' background is just way better than both of ours, so I'm just feeling like...
It is really cute.
I know.
Thanks. God. It's just my dining... This is my dining room setup.
We've converted to a
podcast stage.
Oh, yeah. So how did you guys get started podcasting or doing a podcast together?
Well, we started our podcast because basically I had my kid and I had no friends with kids at all. It was the first one of all my friends. I was very fucking lonely, and I actually started listening to podcasts during that time. And I started searching like different podcasts about like actually it wasn't even about single parenting. It was just about motherhood, Black motherhood. And there just wasn't anything there, nothing happening. And also single parenting. And so I was like, I wanted to start something. I didn't know who else I could do it with because I had no other mom friends. And then I met Jamilah through a friend. I saw her on Instagram, and I told my friend, I'm like, wait, who's that girl? Is she your friend? She has a kid? She's like, yeah, we're actually going out tonight. So I literally dropped my daughter off at my mom's house, went to this bar to meet this stranger I don't know. She had no idea I was coming. And literally beelined her, was like, hey, I'm Erica. You have a kid, right? She's like, yep. I'm like, take my number. We're going to have a play date. And then I just left because I didn't have
I love how you approached this like as if you're trying to date somebody, you know?
It was like
fuck someone. You're like, I know they're going to be at the bar. I'm going to show up. I'm going to be looking hot.
She cornered me in like the darkest corner by the bathroom, and I was like, "Hey," she's like, "Hey, you're Jamilah, right?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm Nisha's friend. You have a baby, right?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Let's get the girls together next week. I have a baby too." I was like, "Okay." She's like, "Take my number." I was like, "Okay." So
then we like hung out a few times with our kids, and it was pretty like surface. Like we didn't really like dig deep. Because we were still getting to know each other. And then I think we went out without the kids like twice. And at that time throughout that time, like our hangouts were like a few months in between. And then I had become a single parent. So I broke up with baby daddy, and I started dating. And I was on this dating app, Tinder, and I started sleeping with this married couple. And I told her about it, and she was like, what? She was very shocked that I'm do those type of things, I guess. And then I was like, so
I was like pleasantly surprised because I
pegged you for a square. So
I'm such a square. I was like, oh no, I clutched my pearls. I was like, oh, okay. You're my kind of people.
And then I think like 15 minutes later, I was like, so I kind of want to start this podcast. You want to do it with me? And she was like, how honest are we going to be? Like, are you going to share your married couple story? And I was like, yeah. And so we just started the podcast, kind of like didn't even know what the fuck we were doing at all. We're like, is anyone going to listen? And 118 episodes later,
here we are.
So we got to really know each other on the podcast. We weren't like best friends at all. And we were just like cool acquaintances.
Yeah, we're like cool. Like, we were friends because we had kids and because we had mutual friends. And we liked each other. He was like, okay, she's cool. But our friendship really began here as we did the podcast. Yeah. Now we're best friends and she can't get rid of me.
That makes me so happy because that's literally, Jess and I were the same way. It's like we would run into each other through mutual friends at bars and stuff. We got to know each other because I was like, oh, I'm having an unplanned pregnancy. And she's like, oh, hey, I had the same thing.
I'm like, I don't know anyone with kids either. So.
Yeah. And then literally it was like, she was like, have you ever thought of starting a podcast? And we literally just got together, started recording, and it's the same thing. It's like over 150 episodes later, and we've gotten to know each other through the podcast.
It's crazy.
It's like actually a really cool way to get to know somebody.
Yeah, it's crazy how intimate you get when you're just like sharing all that time and like being open with each other. at least,
I think because you ask questions you maybe wouldn't normally ask.
So true.
And
yeah.
so you get to really know. And like, I'm even now, like I've still, sometimes she shares stories and I'm like, what? Did what?
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah, no, I was the Erica in this situation. I cornered Bekah in a dark comedy club and I was like, will you please start a podcast with me?
Please be my friend.
Okay.
But
maybe if I start a podcast, then she'll be really forced to come every week. She'll have to come every week and talk to me.
And that's basically what happened.
Oh, I love that. Wait, can you guys give like a little blurb about who each of you are so our listeners can have a quick get to know you?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm Erica and I have a daughter. Her name is Irie. She's 5. I grew up in the Valley, 818. And I work in beauty. So that's my bread and butter is I work for a beauty brand. And what else? I like long walks on the beach. I like to smoke marijuana. Tequila is my favorite beverage. And my porn category is BBC.
Oh, yes.
It's a good one. I don't know how I'm going to beat that.
That's a really good
intro.
Yeah, that's really good, actually.
Great intro.
God, I got to know so much of you that way. I'm Jamilah or Mila. We don't know which one we're going to go with yet. It's a mystery which day of the week. It's either Mila or Jamilah. It's the same thing, guys. I'm a Cancer Gemini cusp.
Oh,
yes, signs. That's a good one too.
Mm-hmm. I'm a single mom of 1. My daughter is also 5. Her name is Luna. Because I like the moon, because I'm a Cancer. I'm into witchy shit, like lighting incense and full moon rituals. My porn category, I don't know if I should share that. That gets a little dirty really quickly.
I mean,
I already know what it is.
Share it.
Where's mine? Like some inappropriate weird shit, like stepdad.
Yeah, she loves stepdad. She loves stepdad porn.
I love like take advantage porn. I don't know. I have to get therapy probably, but no,
it's okay.
Here.
My porn category is like I like watching gay porn with like male gay porn.
Male on male. I like gay porn too. I had a whole time. My friend showed it to me, and I was like, "Why did you show me this? I
like, why is this so hot?" Yeah,
it's just so aggressive.
So hot. I like the massage. I'm a huge fan of the massage porn.
I love sensual massage too.
Oh yeah,
I like that's a good one too.
The hidden camera massage one. Ooh,
yeah.
I'm gonna send you a few. I'm gonna send you some.
Please do.
I got some and saved in my bookmarks.
We talk about how, listen, we might be quarantined up with our men. It has not been sexy. There's been nothing sexy that's been going on.
Being trapped with someone that you love.
Quote unquote love.
There hasn't been any fantasies being fulfilled, being played out. I mean, you just had a baby, Bekah, so.
I think it's got better with time. I think like the first half of quarantine, for me personally, the first half was like, this is like stressful and not like really fun. And then the second half has been better. But I did just have a baby. But things are healing way faster second time around. So
really?
I'm ready to get back in the saddle.
Okay. Wait, did you have to get stitches?
No.
Oh, good. Perfect. You're just ready to go, girl.
That's what I'm saying.
She's on the fast track. I'm like on my end, listen, there's been moments here and there. It's just more like for hearing from some friends who quarantined up quick with people that they had just started dating and there's no child involved. It's just like a sex rampage for the past like 3 months. And so when I'm comparing it to that, I'm like, listen, when the kid's always, my daughter's 4, and when she's always, there, sometimes when she's not there, I don't feel sexy right away. So it just is more of a transitional thing.
Yeah, you gotta like detox the kid away for a sec.
Yes.
So you can get that sexy juice back in there.
Yeah, get that sexy back.
It's also hard to get out of that mode where you're like, the kid is gone. What do I have to do right now? Like,
right.
I have 3 hours.
It's true. Like, let me like maximize all the things all my chores. And then by the time they come back, it's like, oh, I forgot to fuck. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's on the priority list?
What about your kid? How old are they? And
my kid's 5.
So our kids are best friends too.
They're both 5, which really helps with babysitting each other.
That's so nice. They can just play together.
Yes.
Yeah. Fight and play.
Sure.
Love each other, fight plus.
You know how as you enter into your 30s, there are just some things you start doing that make you more, quote unquote, grown up. It's always weird things, but they just make sense to me as being very adult, like having all matching socks or filling up your gas tank all the way every time. And my personal favorite is always having a few bottles of wine on hand, winding down during the day and going to grab a nice glass of wine later, only to realize that you're out is pretty disappointing. And that's why I started using First Leaf. So I always have something on hand, for the sake of being a grown-up and all, and also for finding the most fantastic new wines ever.
First Leaf delivers personalized boxes of wine right to your door. If you know tons about wine, or if you're just getting the same vino over and over again, First Leaf is perfect for you. You start by taking a quick online quiz to assess your wine drinking preferences, and you'll be asked about your food and coffee preferences and how open you are to trying new wines, a bunch of different things. Then First Leaf will take those results and send you 6 expertly picked bottles based on your answers.
Yeah, I recently got the most amazing Chardonnay in my delivery, which Evan and I enjoyed in the backyard this weekend. It was so nice, and even if for a few minutes, it made life feel normal again. First Leaf updates their inventory every month, so I'm always excited to get my delivery and try some new things. And if for some reason you get a bottle you don't love, First Leaf will cover the cost. But wow, does First Leaf start sending you your dream 6-pack of wine once they'll discover your preferences? The dream 6-pack. And by the way, can we talk about the cost? With our code, you can get these 6 bottles of wine that typically go for $20 a piece for $29.95. Excuse me. Are you kidding?
Honestly, it is just way too good to be true, but it is true. Yes. So you can sign up today to get 6 bottles of wine for only $29.95 plus free shipping. Just go to tryfirstleaf.com/chatty. That's 6 bottles of wine for only $29.95 at tryfirstleaf.com/chatty.
Well, broads, it's Christmas in July, or it's about to be, I suppose. And why is that? Because I got my customized order from my summer FabFitFun box, and wow, is it a good one? It's so good. FabFitFun is the premium subscription box that is curated each season by their team of editors. I always end up finding something new that I add into my permanent rotation. The curation is that good.
The entire box costs less than $50, but the value inside is $200 because you're getting 8 to 10 full-size products. I know I sometimes get overwhelmed trying to find new products because there's just so much to choose from, but you get it all delivered to your door, so it's kind of like having a personal shopper once a season. Way less work and so much fun to go through.
And if you've been thinking about joining in on our FabFitFun box for a while but haven't done it yet, this is the season to do it. Okay, I'm telling you. One of your customization picks this season is a full-size Murad Rapid Collagen Serum, which is a product I already use and love, and it retails for almost $80. The entire FabFitFun box costs less than that and has so many more fun things inside. It's such a steal. It's almost unbelievable. Oh, and also, I got those amazing Tom's sunglasses that I've been wearing almost every day. And I got the cutest Giving Keys necklace. Oh my gosh, so much goodness. It's wild and so much fun for you. It's an incredible gift to give to yourself, really, but it's also such a great gift to send to someone, especially during this time when we really aren't seeing many of our loved ones in person. FabFitFun arrives right to their door. Perfection.
Like that. Well, it's time to customize your box for the summer season. You can sign up today to receive your first box and join a community of over 1 million women who are already obsessed. Just use coupon code Chatty and you're going to get $10 off your first box at fabfitfun.com. That's $10 off an already fantastic price for your FabFitFun box when you use code Chatty at fabfitfun.com. Also, happy late birthday. Did it just pass?
Yeah, it was the 22nd. So it was 2 Mondays ago. So thank you. I'm 32. I'm a big girl now. I'm working on being a full-grown adult. So hopefully this year I get it together. This is the year.
I'm going to figure everything out.
I'm going to fucking kill this adult shit.
I mean,
I'm
the
gonna be
year
the adult
is,
I always knew I'd be when I was 16. You know, when you're like 16 and you're like 32 for sure, all my shit's together.
Everything's taken care of.
Everything's
I thought
together.
like 23. I was like 23. I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna be married.
yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna have my house.
White picket fence.
For sure, but if 30s, I'm for sure multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
Also own probably 3 properties, and
Also, I'm a housewife
Passive
and I've
income,
accumulated
rent.
all these things. I don't
I'm
know.
close to being retired. Like, we're almost retired at this point.
I
I'm
have
just like,
horses somehow, like many horses.
yeah, for sure.
I know how to ride them. So realistic.
Keep on towards that goal. We gotta keep manifesting it.
Oh yeah, we're
Make it
manifesting
happen.
daily. I'm like, please God.
Please God, I know you heard my 16-year-old dreams. What the fuck?
Oh my God.
Well,
Okay.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, the
Yeah,
little
if you
Franklin
guys are
peak.
watching on the YouTube, I
He
don't
has a
know.
lot of hair.
He does. If you guys are watching on the YouTube, Jamilah, I am getting my hair braided.
Yeah,
Don't,
she doesn't always look like this.
don't be alarmed. I'm going out of town and things had to be done. Things needed to be double booked today. So in about 5 hours, I'll be cute.
We love
Come back in.
I want to hear, like, do you get flack, like, on your podcast for talking about, like, smoking weed or, like, being a single mom who, hey, likes to have sex and that
Not
kind
yet.
of thing? Because wait till your podcast gets bigger. Then
I mean, honestly, I'm sure.
I mean,
I think we've been really lucky with the people that follow us are usually people that have kind of like sought us out or been looking for people like us that they could feel a little bit more normal.
yeah.
So we've gotten like a lot of support. I'm sure there's like secret blogs that like I know there's one specific that has a chain about us that I haven't checked in like a year.
I don't think they've updated it. I think they
Did you
chilled.
check?
No, I think I checked last year or something, and they chilled out on talking shit about us. That thread had ceased.
Okay, there was a thread, but that was the only thread we'd ever encountered. And
And we're pretty
Jealous
sure
hoes.
somebody who hated us. Yeah,
yeah, it was like we're
jealous.
hoes. We're just
We're ain't shit moms,
Our kids are gonna be hoes. Like it was crazy. But so
You're like, yes, and
Yeah, they did say that. They did say our kids were going to be hoes. Wow, they went really dark with it. Calm down. Everybody's kid is a hoe at some point.
We're always
Calm down.
we're always
I've been
yelling.
there.
That we're always yelling at our kids. I'm like, well, you must not have fucking kids.
Yeah, they're like, they never get up. They just yell at them. Dad, they're fucking 4. They don't know what the fuck to do. Get out. Close the door. Our kids speak English. Thanks. No, but I think in the beginning when we were discussing this thing that we were doing and we were like, oh, you're going to talk about the married couple or we're going to talk about parenthood. It was in the air. We were really scared about how it was going to be received because obviously, you have a baby and everyone turns into fucking Betty Crocker. That's just how the world goes. That's
course.
normalcy. But honestly, I think everyone... Probably you guys experience this too. Other moms have been waiting for this shit for so long, feeling this way and doing this for so long. It was almost like finally someone's going to be real about the experience of womanhood and parenthood. And it doesn't have to be like it's mutually exclusive. It doesn't have to be these two separate things. We're adults. We have sex, obviously, because we have kids. What do you think? I'm so sexy. I got pregnant. So it's kind of like, what the fuck? If you come at us, that's pretty dumb. But
I think I was more so afraid of like my own family than I was about like anything else. I didn't give a
preaching to the choir over here.
you're still scared.
I know. I'm still scared of my family. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't until recently that really like my family started to like support what I'm doing because they're like, oh, wow, you guys are growing. How many listens do you get a month? Oh, people care. I'm like, yeah,
We're cool.
So,
Oh, yeah. No, the 100%. I'd rather tell some of these stories to millions of people, and that doesn't bother me. But having like one of my relatives here is like,
Yeah. When my in-laws are
anxiety-inducing.
giving me the side eye at Christmas, I'm just like, oh God, I'm so sorry.
I'm a good mom, I swear.
honestly, I had I blocked my own mother from my Instagram, like up until recently. Like,
my mom unfollowed me.
well, see, my mom
That was nice of her.
My mom I blocked my mom, and then she recently, like, I posted something on my personal page linking it to Good Moms, and she clicked on it, and she was like,
Why can't I?
am I blocked from your blog? I'm like, first of all, it's not a blog, but okay. And then And then I was like, well, yeah, actually, this is the first time you tried because you've been blocked for like a year and a half. So that lets me know you haven't gone and checked.
So that's
I'm
your
insulted.
bad.
Right. And so I finally, I did unblock her and I was like, I love you. And she's like, I was giving you space to like be yourself. And I was like, appreciate that. And I blocked you because I needed space to be myself. So now I'm giving you access. Don't fuck it up or I'll block you again.
Yeah, my mom will go through stages where she'll talk shit and then I'll block her. And then she's like, you don't love me, you blocked me. I'm like, love and blocking you from social media are not equivalent.
Like I'm doing this for you, honestly.
I'm doing this for
it's
us,
for you.
so that you don't stress me the fuck out and I don't stop answering your phone calls.
And for them too. Like my dad was like, your mom listened to your episode talking about Christianity and she was depressed for 3 days. And I was like, well, don't tune in then.
You saw the title of the episode. You were asking for
So
it.
she thought you were going to be a good Christian girl. And
It's like, this is the one I should listen to. That's just going to make me proud.
she thought you were
She
going
knew
to.
what was coming. She knew what was coming.
You want to be mad. You want to be mad.
Yeah.
My grandmother threatened to take me off of her life insurance to my dad because I kept posting pictures with my titties out. but they were like, obviously I can't post pictures with my titties out, but I put like a sticker over my nipples and I'm like, everybody calm down. I'm like, how much was the life insurance?
What if
How much is my cut? I know, people.
Yeah, what am I dealing with here?
You better delete those photos, bitch.
Girl,
I'm gonna take you off the life insurance. I
was
like
like,
that. I want to get a
Grandma-
life insurance policy so I can threaten people.
you were on it, not anymore.
This week you're off.
They're like, I'm your neighbor. I was on your life insurance policy. I
You're
don't
gonna
like
get my
you today.
stereo. Karen, you're gonna get my stereo, not anymore.
I like that.
Oh no, but it is when I first started listening to your podcast, it's like I see the title, Good Moms, Bad Choices. I feel like you know what you're stepping into. And I'm like, I need some of this in my life because when I started to listen, it's like, okay, yeah, I feel very often like I'm this bad mom because I maybe, like you said, I didn't turn into a housewife who's great at all of a sudden, like in the kitchen and all this as soon as I became a parent. I like to go out and I like to party and I need to have wild nights with my friends. And almost even more so after the baby came. It was like, I need this more now. I need more of a release. And there wasn't a place that I was finding where I'm like, I'm not getting all these like this judgment and these judgmental eyes. And I felt like even when I would bring it up with some of my other mom friends, it was like, listen, I know you're judging me with your eyes, but I know you want to too. So don't.
You're judging me, but you're jealous. You're jealous judging. You want to be in my life right now.
Yeah.
They're going back talking shit and then like having dreams of like partying.
They're like, they're having so much fun over there.
Yeah.
I thought I wasn't allowed to have fun anymore. What the fuck?
And I think like even like the name of our podcast, like I think some people like my mom thought like Bad Choices was like, like all these bad things we're doing over here. But really like when we created it was kind of like a play on words because I think a lot of times, even like for me, like smoking weed, like I've been smoking since I was a teenager, and I have anxiety. It helps me with that. Like for some people, that could be deemed as bad, but for me, that's a good choice. Right. Like for me, that's what works for me. And also like some of my worst choices have led me to better ones. And so I wouldn't have ever been able to make the better choice had I not made the bad choices.
Experience some of the shit that you've been through to do better shit.
Yeah.
Well, and bad choice, that's so relative too. Because
right.
It's like, is going out a bad choice if it lets you like release tension and like have fun and feel like an individual so that you can go home and be a better parent to your kid because you have your own sense of individuality and your own identity outside of just being their mom. Like that's healthy for everyone,
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think my biggest fear was like having a kid and then turning into one of those moms that were like their whole world revolved around their kid. And it's like, oh, Stacy, how are you doing? She's like, oh, well, little George is doing great. And I'm like, I didn't ask how George was doing, like I never wanted to become a parent that was just a parent. I don't want to just be a mom. I want my child to see me living in my full life because that's what I want you to do. I don't want at any point for anyone, including your own child, to come in and take you off of who you are. And of course, who we are as mothers, and we nurture and we care for. We're women. But also I think it's super important to maintain our own identities and what makes us happy. And if that's tequila and smoking weed, then that's tequila and smoking weed.
Also, like, what do you have when your kid goes off to college? And you see this happen with people when their identity is just like completely lost. It's like, you can't follow some people do try to do that. Like, you can't follow your kid off into their 30s. Like, you're my sense of like purpose in the world, and like I don't know what to do without you. Like,
that becomes that's like the gut boy you don't want to date.
No. Oh. I've done it. That is not.
No. Yeah, no. And that was the biggest thing that I was noticing, is it was like, okay, I'm now with my child 24/7 and I'm losing my sense of identity. And I feel like because of that, I'm not as good of a mom as I could be. I'm quicker to irritation with my child all the time. I'm just feeling apathetic about everything because I was losing my sense of self. And it was like, as soon as I allowed myself to be like, okay, I have a girls' night one night a week, and husband knows I'm probably not coming home, and I'll be home in the morning, and I'll, get the girlfriend. She knows, and my daughter knows. She knows that mom's gone. She goes and hangs out with her friend Katie, and I'll FaceTime her before she goes to bed, and then I have that night, and that's been like life-changing for me because
I'm so glad you do that. I'm so glad that you do that and you're married, because I find that most people, when they're married, at least from the married couples that I've talked to, like they don't feel like they can do that, even though they literally have a live-in babysitter. Like I don't have a live-in babysitter, but like I got drop-offs. But like I think that when you're with your partner, if you have a partner that you live with, like they should facilitate that for you.
But I think that's a part of the problem. I think the patriarchy is the problem, and a lot of men have this unfortunately they've been socialized to think, well, you're the mom. Like, what do you mean you're going out? Like, what kind of mom are you, Erica, if you think you're gonna go out and drink tequila and not come home tonight? You're a bad mom if you do that. Like, this is your responsibility. I bring home the bacon, you take care of the kid, and I go play,
golf or
whatever men do. I don't know.
Smoke cigars or
Cards at the club.
Yeah, and that's how it goes. And I'm like, hell to the no. I'm shaking this shit up. It's not happening. If I ever get married, you're going to sign this contract. Because this is not my life. I refuse.
Well, yeah. Even on a more subtle level, like even if you're not with like a total dickwad, like there is this thing of like, oh, I'm going to go to work. And like, there's not really a question about that. Whereas I have to check in and be like, hey, is it okay if like on Tuesday from 10 to noon, I have to go do this? Are you able to like, and it's like, it's taken for granted the other way around that like, I'm holding it down. I'm mom who's got it under control, and I have to make sure, that
I think also women too, we have to learn to trust our partners too, because I think a lot of times we want to like, we'll just handle it. It's fine. It's easier. I'll do it, and then that starts that whole pattern of them feeling like, okay, well, they got it. Wait, now you want to go out? Wait.
And the resentment builds.
But you set the tone. You told me that you got this. And so like, I think it's a part of like relinquishing that control, because especially when you have a newborn and like, maybe it's your first kid, like you feel like, I have to do everything. Like you clearly don't know what the fuck you're doing over there. I created this whole life in here. We know each other. They're going to get to know you, but like, hold up.
Yeah.
And you start to set these patterns for men, and then they just adopt them. But if you just set the pattern early on that like, hey, take the baby, I'm going to go do something, even though inside you're probably freaking out and you're like, fuck, is he going to kill my kid?
No, don't.
You have to let them try. Mm-hmm. You have to let them try early so that they can like practice, and you'll be so happy later on when you can go and hang out with Katie or whatever your friend's name is and come back in the next morning,
That's my biggest advice for people who are for women who are pregnant with their first kid. Start training, mentally preparing your partner now about what's about to happen, because that's one thing. I got lucky because I got sick. Like right after I gave birth, like a week later, I had preeclampsia and I had to go back to the hospital. And the baby was like 7 days old, and they were like not letting me keep the baby at the hospital because she wasn't like insured anymore. I don't know. So my baby daddy had to take the baby at 7 days old, and all the nurses and in the ICU were like, oh my my God, I can't believe he's taking the baby. That's so brave. He's such a good dad. I'm like, you bitches, what are you talking about? He don't have a choice. You goddamn right he's going to take this baby. I'm going to give him this milk and he's going to get out of my face. I'm like, no, go do some skin to skin when you get home, okay? Because you got to start him early. Like, honestly, don't think this is just my job. I carried, and now I'm passing it over to you. Did you see what I just did? I just pushed her out of my pussy. Here you go. I did all the work. Now figure it out. Bond with that baby. We've been bonding for 10 months. Don't be scared.
Oh, but it's also hard to communicate that too. I think like what you're saying is like, you know, it also takes practice to be able to delegate needs to another person because you're used to just taking it all on yourself.
But if you don't start, then they'll always have the excuse that they don't know, but if you make them realize early, this is a 50-50 job, bruh. Here you go, figure it out. Then they have less excuses.
Yes. I was like, day one, I'm going to be a drama queen about this baby. Just schedule it on him all the time and just be like
5 weeks pregnant. You're like, I can't.
It's like, you can't. I need to be carried. I'm just no. And that was a huge thing for us, that it forced him to be taking her all the time when I had just had her, like, middle of the night. It wasn't like, I was talking to some of my friends and they're like, oh no, he doesn't get up in the middle of the night with the baby. And I'm like, excuse me? I don't care if he's working. Working is a break right now. Him going to work is a break. I'm stuck all day at home with this kiddo. Like, he needs to wake up and take the baby. And, because of that, you both are totally right. It just set a tone for us. And especially too, we have a daughter, and I'm like, do you want your daughter to not think that her dad is wanting to like have all this special time with her, like, or that her mom doesn't have, the opportunity to like go out and have, like, what does that look like to your daughter? And
good old guilt. Just good old guilt is always
guilt.
good.
We love
just guilt the fuck out of them.
It makes
Do you want
better.
your daughter to hate you when she grows up?
One day, your daughter will
have so many daddy issues. She's gonna be fucking everyone.
If you don't wake up and feed her at 3 a.m., it's not going to be good for you.
She will resent you for the rest of her life. So get on it, mister. I'm going to sleep.
People at home taking notes are like, okie dokie.
Passive aggression.
Week 1, leave.
Week 1, fake illness.
Ultimatums.
Guilt.
Week 1, fake illness. Go to a spa. Just disappear to a spa for a few weeks. Oh my God. No, it's so true. But I mean, with both of you being
I was just going to
parents,
ask, what does that look like now for you guys?
What?
How do you have, let me package a whole question. How do you maintain your individuality while not only having a kid, but being a single parent? Like, what does that even look like practically? And like, what are the struggles? Like, you're talking about being able to have your own sex life, time to get out with girlfriends, like also juggling time to work.
Yeah, I'm fucking complaining and I got this guy like on hold in the house when I need him,
I mean, honestly, tribe is so crucial. Like having that tribe and like, had it not really been for, I don't know, like I feel like Good Moms really made it so clear that I needed it. And I had to make an effort to create one. Also, like, thankfully I do have like support with my family. My mom isn't like the traditional grandmother because she's running a company. And so she's not always available. Like I can't just like, hey mom, like she's not like grandma who's like retired chilling at home. But like Jamilah helps me, I help her, we have people that we pass our kids off to sometimes. They also do have fathers, so they go there. And so I think just creating boundaries, I think is important. Creating a schedule with the father of your child, if they're willing to honor it, is important. And for me, like when I first became single, I really didn't feel like I knew my sense of identity at all. I had been in a relationship for 7 years. I had really like put everything into that relationship, everything into him, and like elevating him and making sure he was always number one, you know? And so when I got out of that, I really had to face myself and ask myself, like, who am I? What do I want? Like, what makes me happy? Like, and that whole process and that whole journey was really difficult, but also like led me here. And I think as a single mom, dating has been interesting. I mean, for me, because I've been in a relationship for so long, I really had no idea where to start. Dating apps prior to my relationship were like for old people, like, you know, like, what is the fucking dating app?
eHarmony?
Like eHarmony and shit. Right. So like when I became single, my friends were telling me to join dating apps. I was like, what? Like, that's so weird. No. And then I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it, but only out of town. So like I travel a lot for work. So I'd be like, okay, I'll do it out of town because no one will see me and I won't be embarrassed. If my baby daddy's friend sees me on this dating app, I'm going to be fucking embarrassed. And then I had the best time out of town ever and met some really cool people. And then, you know, I just got myself out there. I think it's really just about getting yourself out there and asking for help. I mean, that's the only way you're going to do it. You have to ask for help because you need time to have time to be yourself. And now I'm in a relationship. So I've been single for 3 years and I recently just got into a relationship, which is really interesting and a whole new world for me. Introducing my daughter to my partner and my family and reintroducing that whole situation has been like extremely, it's been like liberating, scary, exciting, like triggering, all those things. But fortunately, I do think that because I think a lot of times when I do find people that are married, and that's why I said I'm so glad to hear that you really do take that time for yourself, because I find that a lot of people married people don't, because they feel like they can't. Like they feel like, for me, like I can drop my daughter off at her dad's house. Don't call me. You don't get to know what I'm doing because our relationship is over. So don't ask me what I'm doing. So that those few days or that day or 3 days, whatever, like I'm kind of in the free and clear to do whatever I want, which is really, I'm grateful for. So that's kind of how I've been managing singleness, single parenting.
I think for me, when I was in the relationship with my daughter's dad, I didn't realize how depressed I was and how much I was like missing myself and losing myself and like just like falling into this mom boyfriend like space, that when I finally like cut that off and he moved out, I was in a hardcore rebellion of I'm going to get back to who the fuck I am, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says about it. You know, I was just like, I had been so brainwashed to think like I had to stay home and I couldn't do this. And if I did this, it was too much. Or what kind of mom are you if you do this? And so like when I came out of that and finally it was like, and I finally like got clear about it. And then me and Erica, a lot of it was good moms too, you know, like starting this podcast and then having people, you know, just like thinking you're talking to a room full of nobody, and then people just coming out of the woodwork like, oh my God, I'm so happy that there's other moms out there that get what I'm saying, or, you know, and then there's this huge aspect of failure. When as a young mom, and like we weren't that young, but still you're like, oh, I thought we were going to be fucking married and have a picket fence. And when that doesn't happen, and then you look at Instagram and all those other bitches are married and they're wearing white and they have no stains on their clothes. And you're like, wait, why was this didn't look like this for me? And it just became, it was more for me becoming comfortable in that like that fairy tale ending didn't have to be that way. And everybody's situation doesn't look that way. And who I am, this serves me, and who you are, that serves you. And so much so that like, as I'm in the space of like looking for love or maybe a partner, I'm really clear about what my boundaries are. And like, maybe if you want to have more kids, that's cool. But I hope you're ready to pull up your sleeves, bruh, because this is not going to fall all on me. You know, through Good Moms and talking every week about, you know, what's important to us and getting to do the things that are fun to us. It really made me value who I am as a person and know that that's important, you know, and like not to put that on the back burner for anyone, child, husband, or other. And obviously there's be times you have to prioritize, but just being sure, like it's important to me to look sexy. It's important to me to do my hair and get lashes because that makes me feel good. And so if I gotta put some other shit off to do that, then that's fine. You know, it took a lot of reprogramming myself and becoming like okay with that and telling other people like fuck off. I did go out Friday and Saturday and I'm going out on Sunday too.
Okay, can we pause for one moment, broads, and talk about a service that has truly been saving me the past few months? Like, truly. Oh, it's a service. It's a meal service, and it's America's #1 meal service, actually. It is HelloFresh. Oh, you can get those fresh, pre-measured ingredients and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door with HelloFresh. HelloFresh lets you skip those trips to the grocery store and makes home cooking fun, easy, and affordable, which has truly been invaluable lately. We've been trying to avoid the grocery store as much as possible, and affordability has been an absolute key point. But here's the thing. It's not only this. The food is delicious. Like, absolutely yum. I'm so impressed with myself every time after cooking one of these meals because, as you all know, I'm not a chef. HelloFresh makes me feel that way, and my whole family feels that way now, and I owe it all to HelloFresh. HelloFresh offers fresh, high-quality ingredients every week for a super flavorful experience. Over 90% of ingredients are sourced directly from growers to ensure the freshest recipes are delivered to your door. And their pre-portioned ingredients means there's less prep for you and less food waste. The packaging HelloFresh uses to ship your food in is entirely made from recyclable and or already recycled content. What I've personally been loving lately from HelloFresh is their sweet heat shrimp tempura bowls. They are so good. And okay, Ember's favorite right now, the black bean quesadilla with salsa fresca and creamy guac. She has been having so much fun making this recipe with me. And not only that, devouring it after, but it's been such a fun family activity during this time. And I'm super grateful for it. Also, broads, HelloFresh is committed to making fresh, delicious food available now more than ever and has taken extra steps to keep its employees and customers safe. And they've actually donated over 2.5 million meals to charity in 2019. And this year is stepping up their food donations amid the coronavirus crisis. So they're an incredible company. And today, if you go to HelloFresh.com/80chatty, that's 80chatty, and use code 80chatty, 80chatty, to get a total, you can get a total of $80 off, including free shipping on your first box. That's HelloFresh.com, 80chatty, 80chatty, and use code 80chatty to get a total of $80 off, including free shipping. Additional restrictions may apply. Please visit HelloFresh.com for more details. Now, back to the good moms. Oh my goodness.
I mean, I think that's encouraging to hear too, because it's liberating. Like, even, look, I'm not in the space in life, haven't been for the past 2 years, where I'm going out or doing anything.
And God, I'm waiting for her too. I've just been like,
but you know what?
Waiting for her to come out.
But I think it's important too, like, it looks different for everyone. And like what you're talking about is just making space for yourself. Like, I hate that the whole self-care thing has been like hijacked by like brands and advertising. Like, self-care is kind of fucking stupid now. I hate whenever I hear it or when it comes out of my mouth. But it's like at the root of it, it's important to like prioritize yourself. And even if there is stuff that like technically takes a higher priority, even if that is work or like doing whatever thing around the house, even if it's just sitting in the backyard and like sitting in the sun for like 20 minutes and chilling. Like, I've been learning that a lot over the past year or so of like, how do I make space for myself, even in the midst of like business shit, trying to like, you know, get to know this person who I got thrust into a relationship with, you know, being pregnant, having 2 kids under the age of 2. Like, how do I make space for myself in a way that's, you know, I can't go out right now. So like, how do I be me still? And that's hard. Like, sometimes it's like the sometimes it's like the extremes are not easier. I don't know if this makes sense, but it's like if I can just go out and like have my night, that's almost like easier in a way than being like, how do I make space in my own house and in my own space to just be myself? And that's like, it's not easy.
No, I can imagine that is difficult. I think inviting friends over.
Well, okay, with quarantine stuff too. How have you guys been handling that?
Oh Lord.
Well, so early on.
Because actually, I was just thinking as I'm saying this, I'm like, wait, this applies to fucking everybody. No one can go out for the past 4 months. What?
It's a real self-reflective time.
Look, it's
everyone.
been very self-reflective.
Like, why am I acting like this is just me going through this? This is everybody.
We've been going through it before everybody.
I mean, I think with me and Jamilah, like we basically quarantined together.
Oh, that's great.
And early on, I was extremely paranoid about everything. I was like, Miss Judge Judy. I was like, where the fuck have you been? What have you been doing? Wash your hands. Your child coughed. What's happening? Like,
you're at your mom's house and then you're coming back? I don't think
you
so.
can't go to your mom's.
I'll be at my mom's. I'll be right back.
Only I can go to my mom's. Like,
I was like, our friendship's about to end. I was like, all this podcasting for nothing. Quarantine has fucked it up.
But, now like we've been, mingling within our friend circle and trusting. It's like, it's a trust. I mean, I can't I've lost people to COVID. So I don't want it to sound like I'm not taking it seriously, but at the same time, it's like, I also like my daughter, it's her second week in summer camp. And like, I know some moms are going to judge me for putting her in camp, but like, she got to go. Like, she's got to go to camp. And, I just don't know. I don't know. All I can do is like try to be careful and hope that my friends are being careful. And so I have been out in the world in some capacity. And also I think quarantine too, I got a boyfriend in quarantine. So I think like it's been such an interesting time of like loss and also like getting shift and getting to really know people because everyone's home and they have nothing else to do but to like just divulge all their secrets and souls and shit. So it's funny because like my boyfriend, I realized that like the first like month of our relationship we were just in sweats, and then like the other day he put jeans on and I was like, oh, hello.
Not hello.
Yes, I was like, you look good in clothes. He was like, what? I was like, I've never seen you wear fucking clothes. Like, can you get dressed more often? Like, where? I was like, he had a collared shirt on. I was like, what?
I know, you don't realize until you're like, oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we went on a little getaway with like a few friends, and like seeing him interact with people, I was like, oh, I forgot about this part. Like, I don't know how you are with people besides me.
Yeah.
That's a big piece of it too.
Yeah.
Right. Because like when you go out, like you get to see how the person you're dating is in a public setting, how like, can I leave you and you're good? Like we haven't really gotten to that part yet.
That is so interesting because it's like things are expedited to a certain degree, I would imagine, dating in quarantine because there is just so much time to be. But then you're missing, like, there's all these other pieces.
You're missing these other parts that you can't practice unless you're out in the world.
Yeah.
Sort of like you guys met on a reality show, like you guys.
Right. What is it called? What is that reality show that we were into for like?
Love is Blind?
Yeah, Love is Blind.
Oh, we recapped that shit. And at the beginning, it was fun. And at the end of 10 weeks, I was like, is everything okay?
All right.
I'm still a huge fan of Cameron and what's this girl's name?
Oh my God,
Lauren,
so cute.
Cameron, and
Lauren. I'm like, where's my
cute.
Cameron?
I found my Cameron.
I
literally manifested my Cameron, and his name is actually Cameron.
Oh, wow.
I found my own Cameron.
Meanwhile, Mila, you're like, I keep meeting Damien's. I don't know what's happening.
Damien is like a ultimate fuckboy name. I know like 12 fuckboys names.
Wait, is Damien the redhead guy?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
But they're still together.
Damien's the one who was crying. Oh, the one who was with the girl who thinks she's in Hollywood all the time. She's
yes, Damien's with Giannina.
Yeah.
She's
I
like
hate both of them so much.
She's like the fashion blogger, and she talks like
She's like, oh my God, every time I look at her, I feel like she's in a fucking movie. Why is she acting?
literally she's in a romantic comedy constantly.
I said the same thing. I was like, is somebody writing these lines for her? I was saying this when we were recapping.
You know the other day when I said that sex wasn't that great? I was talking about you.
I was talking about you. And I was like, is this from Kate Hudson's movie? Like, I've seen this scene before.
And then she'll randomly just look off into the distance and like say something like to a camera that's not there.
She'd be like this. She'd be like, Dame.
If this bitch doesn't get an agent, I'm done with Hollywood, honestly. That's why she needs to have an agent.
She worked hard for that.
She studied her whole life for this fucking role. And she
is a walking rom-com.
She starts running down the street in her wedding dress and heels. Just like,
they casted her for sure.
Oh yeah, that was a plant.
Literally. I think
was a plant.
That just reminds me of that just reminds me that we just went through that this last 3 months of quarantine have gone like so like this. There was like, first it was very high.
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind happened. That brought it down a little. We're fine during Love is Blind. We watched that a few times. Took a couple of half of Xanaxes. I thought I had Corona. I didn't.
Did you actually think you had Corona?
I was like laying in the bed like I can't breathe. I'm like, and then I wake up in the morning like, I guess you could breathe because you're alive. And then I was in the market. And I went through so many stages of panic. I don't have a gun. Erica's trying to kick me out and not let me see anyone. I hate her, but she's my only friend. And then I just was like, fuck it. You know, like I can't live like this. How are we going to live like this? I'm still alive. The world's not ending. No one's turned into zombies. And what really helped was mushrooms. We started taking mushrooms more. And that's really.
Are you guys doing like, are you guys doing like microdosing? Or are you doing like, we're going to take an eighth right now and just jet off?
Okay. We've done both ways. Okay. But it has helped. It has helped a lot, actually. I'm a huge supporter of psychedelics, mainly mushrooms. Obviously not for everyone. I'm not like a doctor. I'm not saying go take mushrooms, but I'm saying maybe try. Because it just kind of takes the weight off of you. It makes you like happier, makes you see things for what they are. I think for moms, we already have a lot of shit to worry about, like humans, keeping them alive. Mm-hmm. So I just think when there's things in the media that are, first of all, I'm a huge conspiracy theorist. I don't believe, I think the media is trying to brainwash us and scare us and instill fear. And obviously, whether you're a conspiracy theorist or not, there's some shit that just doesn't make sense. There's a lot of information that's changed drastically in like 2 weeks. 3 weeks ago, it's like it's on hard services for 12 hours.
There's been a lot of shady shit, yeah.
So, yeah, some shady shit happening. Like I'm no rocket scientist, but this doesn't make sense. I can order food to go, but Jimmy's going to be touching it and I'm going to be eating it, and that's fine, right? Okay, whatever. Yeah. So it's just like kind of taking the information that's important, making it make sense to me, and like being safe and staying with my small crowd, which has been lovely. I kind of like my friends. I realize I don't have to go, like I used to like to party and meet strangers, but it's just like I like the friends I got. So I don't really need to meet any strangers.
Yeah, I've seen my family a lot more in the past 3 months than I have like in the past year. Yeah. And like for some people that's horrible, but I'm like, no, it's been really nice actually. Well, and also being pregnant, I'm the type of person when I'm pregnant, I feel like I need to just like sequester myself in a cave. And so it was actually kind of fantastic. I was like, no one can come over. I can isolate myself, and also no FOMO because nobody else is doing anything either. Right, so it was kind of like perfect.
Yeah, I think I realized too that I knew that I was like to be alone and I need my space, but like,
sorry,
it just reaffirmed that for me, that like, oh, I'm good. I'm made for quarantine.
Totally.
As long as I can take little drives places and go see nature and shit, like camping, I'm good.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a good sign. I think that if you can do that, that means you're like at peace with yourself. You're You're enlightened.
Yeah.
We've definitely
Achieved enlightenment.
I don't know if you've done. Me and Erica went to Joshua Tree this past weekend. Well, we went on a Monday.
This week, yeah.
We went like Monday through Thursday and
Oh my
picked
goodness.
mushrooms, and we were just in there crying and laughing and looking at each other and looking at space. And it seemed crazy.
We're also working. It was a work trip / spiritual awakening.
Yeah. And I think we came to the
You
conclusion
guys are
that
multitaskers.
we're
multitaskers.
multitaskers, hence my hairstyles. I think we both came to the conclusion that this journey is a journey. And honestly, there's no, like, as much as we think, and we've come a long way, but there's always more shit to learn about yourself. The most journey is getting to know yourself and accepting that, like you think you're trying to.
Sounds like shrooms.
Yeah, basically.
Oh my God. We're sitting there and we were listening to Solange playlist and I was like, Solange for sure made this whole album on shrooms.
I was like, for sure.
It was like, it was made for this.
Which album?
This is her most recent one. Seat at the Table? Wait,
yeah. I'm going to DM her. I'm going to ask her.
I was like, and then I went outside and it was like the stars were just obviously touching my face.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm part of the galaxy. I'm part of the galaxy. Any of this should actually matter.
She's like, nothing matters.
Nothing matters. Like, I'm like, why am I working so hard?
We don't know. We had like all the answers, but
I'm gonna
none.
quit my job.
Why am I working so
This
hard?
journey is a journey. But it's true. But, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's how we've navigated quarantine and the pandemic.
That's not true. I've not just navigated quarantine on mushrooms.
No,
purely
it's
mushrooms.
helped. Those few times have helped.
No, it has helped. It helped.
There has to be an escape during this. Like there really does. And like you both were saying too, especially as parents, there's already so much information coming out. It's so hard not to be anxious as parents being like, am I making the right choice? Not only for myself, but for my kids too.
Right.
So it's
Absolutely.
like, okay, like I have to have some sort of breather. And Bekah, like you were saying, obviously we've been all kind of stuck in the same position like you have been for a while, but it's also helped me feel a little more balanced because my release was always just like, I'm going to go out and party with my girlfriends. But now I'm realizing like, listen, that's not everybody's cup of tea. I have found other ways that I can release. Like you're saying, one of my friends who's been in my little quarantine circle will come, we'll have a fire at my house and we'll just sit by the fire and just talk until like 3 a.m. Am I exhausted the next day? Hell yes.
Absolutely.
But it's so worth it.
So one of my things that I got out of quarantine as far as finding other releases is I bought a trampoline. So
Oh, that's
and that's been really good for me and my daughter too, because I think, this whole COVID thing also affects children so much too, because it's been a total shift. Like she went from being at school all the time to now being home to like also having fear of going outside. Why am I wearing masks? It's like, mommy, is that okay? And my daughter's a very law abiding citizen. And so like, and I'm not, so like that. And I've also realized like the ways that we're different too, even just quarantining with my child, like, oh, you don't just adopt everything I do? Oh, you have your own. Okay, shit. So I think to get like, obviously she's 5, so she has tantrums and stuff. So one of the ways that I've been trying to help her release things is like, let's just go jump on the trampoline. And that's what I do too. And so it's like, it's been cool to like explore that and like spend more time with her too, because my job, I'm usually out of town, like 75 to 80% of the time. And so being able to slow down and be with her and has been kind of amazing and also driving me crazy.
sure.
So yeah, I think that's self-care. Quarantine has showed me a few other ways that are necessary for me to self-care. That and also like I have to be outside. I realized how much like we take for granted the outside and nature, and like that's been like my saving grace.
Yeah, I agree so much with that. Like going out is so overrated. I feel so much more appreciative of just being able to do low key things or just go travel with my friends up, 2 hours away, or go camping and just jump on the trampoline, making up just ways to have fun outside of just like going to the bar or going dancing. We do a lot of dance parties in the living room.
Or getting my nails done, because I do need to go. I can't. This is.
Look at my press-ons. Aren't they cute?
Ooh.
These are so
And they
cute.
I have perfected my press-on game.
Where did you get those?
Color Camp. Color Camp.
Oh, I've heard of them. I've heard.
Yeah.
Wait, they have a salon.
They have a
too,
salon
right?
in LA, and then they
Yeah.
started doing press-ons during COVID, and so my press.
And literally you just press them on?
No, it's just like
The
you
glue.
use the glue. Remember, like you did when you were 12.
But press-ons are like making a mean comeback, especially because
They
of COVID.
are.
There's a lot
yeah.
of brands that have like dope as fuck press-ons.
Oh, yeah.
And I heard now they measure, like my friend does them. She did, my nail lady does a customized one, and you put it on next to like on a business card, and she customizes it and then sends it to you.
Oh, that's what they did with these. They sent me a try-on kit, and then I like sent them what size each of my nails were, and then they send you. Yeah, it's
People are
Anyway.
getting so
See, it's ingenious.
crafty and smart during quarantine. It's like we're figuring this shit out, and we're just, you know, they might
That's
be
what we
trying
do.
to-
We adapt. We
Yeah.
evolve. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope as like a collectivist society, I feel like everyone's learning how to slow down more. And I think that's like really important for everyone. Also, fun fact, did you know that I'm going to butcher this. Sorry for my astrologist listening. Apparently, is it Mercury? Mercury is in Pisces. And last time Mercury was in Pisces, no, I'm totally, maybe Saturn in Pisces. Who the fuck knows? Anyway.
Something in Pisces.
Something was in Pisces, and the last time was during the American Revolution. So,
I think I read that too. I think I read something similar to that. I kept trying to say it.
Well, did you hear about the full moon on 4th of July too? All the planets were in line, in line behind the moon for like the first time in, I don't know, very long time, and it won't happen again for another long time.
Well, I feel like it just like everything that's
You like that? Those facts?
These are these not
Really
accurate, not
really accurate descriptive
Everyone,
facts.
please
we got
re-research
Johnny
this.
Nicholas over here.
astrologist listeners are just like,
I feel like these bitches don't know shit.
I am Susan Miller, and
And this is today's astrology forecast. As you know,
This shit
lots of
has not happened.
wait, what are your signs?
Yeah,
go
go.
ahead, B. No. Are we doing?
you.
We do all three. Okay, so I am a Libra sun, I am a Scorpio moon, and a Gemini rising.
Ooh, you're very.
Yeah, well, you know.
We're all air in this house. So my boyfriend's a Libra. I'm a Aquarius sun. My daughter's Aquarius sun, and he's a Gemini sun. So we're all. But I am Aquarius sun, Aquarius rising, and Gemini moon.
Oh.
Double Aquarius.
Double. Erica, you never said what you were. I don't think.
Okay, so I'm a Scorpio sun, a Scorpio rising, and a Sagittarius moon.
We got some strong
I'm
sign
double Scorpio.
combinations up in here.
Yes, we do. What's your full?
I'm a Cancer Gemini. I'm on the cusp. I'm mostly
Right.
Cancer though. My sun, my moon is Libra, and my rising is Leo.
Oh.
Oh wow, we do. This is a
smorgasbord.
strong
I'm a smorgasbord. Got a little bit of everything in there.
balance.
What's your husband?
My husband is an Aquarius sun.
Oh.
He is a Cancer moon and a Gemini rising.
I like that's a good
We
one.
got a lot of air going. Like, because she's Libra, my boyfriend's Libra, I'm Aquarius, her husband's Aquarius. So that's just how we do it.
Yeah. We had we're a lot of water.
Yeah,
There's water
water
here.
signs.
Oh, it's interesting how we gravitate towards one another.
This is I love our LA conversations.
So LA. So LA.
Everyone listening is like, these
What the
bitches.
fuck are they
What the
talking
fuck
about?
is chart these non-astrology bitches. The moons were lined up behind Libra and Pisces.
All the planets, they were just
hasn't happened in a long time.
Did some shit.
I don't know what it means. I don't know what it's supposed to mean, but it
I
hasn't
was
happened in a
feeling
while.
really weird that night.
It's a revolution, so it's it's happening again. So good. It's true. Everybody knows we're going through transitions. Inner
It's true.
side and on an out
No,
large
absolutely.
scale.
It's not a
not a
game.
joke.
It's not a game.
This is real. Okay.
No. There's been some weird transitions going on, I feel like, interpersonally with almost everyone I know, too. And obviously, I'm sure being stuck inside is...
That'll make
having
you have to check in.
And
real quick.
real hard for a real long time.
You gotta check in.
And
You
with
gotta
the people,
figure it out.
and the people you keep close to you, like, oh damn, do I like you? Do you need to be close to me? No.
Well, it's validating when they are. You're like, okay, yes, we made it through this. You can
Yeah.
stick around. Let's keep this up.
Yeah, if we're good through this, we can do anything. Okay, question about though with the quarantine dating. So Erica, obviously you fully coupled up during this, but Mila, what's the quarantine dating situation been like for you?
I met someone like right before quarantine, and
Okay.
we have been dating. We're not an item, but we're dating exclusively.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So we both like fell in situations during quarantine.
Yeah. It's like our period, we're just synced up.
Yeah.
both from
Both on dating apps. Yeah, we bet, but both our dudes on dating apps.
Wait, so you're exclusive, but you're not an item. So you're
Yeah,
like,
I don't know what that means. I don't get it either. So don't ask me.
we like each other.
Yeah, we like each other.
Don't go have sex with anyone else, but also you're not my boyfriend.
Right.
Also, let's not do titles and do all that shit. Let's chill on that. Also, who are you texting? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
Joking.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's got to be a trip for people who haven't met that official person during quarantine. I don't have a lot of single friends who haven't met someone during this period, so I'm just so curious at do you all have any tips at the top? Because obviously you two found, boyfriend and also
I think
someone.
I think this again. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
You can't go out to a bar and you can't get super drunk and dance off, and then you know what I mean? There's so many less distractions. So we're just stuck to have a lot of real conversations really quickly. Mm-hmm. And I think that if it doesn't vibe, you can cut that off quickly. But also if it does vibe, it grows rather quickly because you're having this time where you're really having to connect with people. Because there's not much shit to do. We're going to the park. We're sitting in the car, watching off of Mulholland and watching the street. We're dancing in the living room. So you have to really like someone, and I think that's why it's been a little bit easier because I don't know. I move around a lot. I get distracted a lot, so it has caused me to kind of chill. And
I think also manifestation is a thing as well. So if I were going to give somebody a tip, I would say, you're home, you're here think about what is it that you want? What are you looking for? If you are single, what is it actually that you want? And write it down and be very, very specific about it. And me and Jamilah did this. And my mom has always talked about manifestation to me in her own way ever since I was a kid. And so I think the shit really works. And I think you kind of have to know what you're looking for and writing it down and then kind of forgetting about it even because I think when you start to obsess
specific,
even
ridiculously specific, even if it's going to embarrass, you'd be embarrassed for someone to read it. Just write it down.
Yeah. I have a bunch of shit on there that I'm embarrassed that I wrote, but also it's important. So
okay, come on. You have to give us examples.
Well, just shallow shit, must have big dick, must be or I need you to at least have a wealthy mindset and be on your way there, own houseplants, take pictures of me naked because I want you to. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Doesn't mind me posting topless pictures on the internet.
Specifically
love
hers.
that.
And just other things that are important to me. Don't be like this person. So I think writing that down, manifestation is really a big one. And also for me, I kind of started when I met my guy, I was kind of at the point where I kind of given up. I was I'm just not gonna look. I'm not looking anymore. It just is what it is. And I think as women, we can obsess over, what our future is going to be, who's going to be that partner. Even when you're in the dating phases, how many women, when you're first dating someone, you can't help but think about, maybe I'm crazy, but I'm is this my husband?
Oh, yeah.
What is our wedding going to look like? You would have cute kids, cute kids, right? And it's don't do that. Try not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think maybe it's not a woman thing. Maybe I'm generalizing, but I think we have a way of twisting a person sometimes to fit the mold that they don't actually fit in.
And then we're disappointed because
they're not who we wanted them to be.
Yeah.
They're who they are. 2 years later. And you're
you still don't know how to do that thing?
Yeah. But yeah, I think that would be, I think that's where you should start. If you're single and you really are trying to find someone, write it down. Just write down what you want. Because I also believe that words are spells. Like everything that I say consistently on a consistent basis, like that I believe happens all the time for me. And a lot of that, I think, I know is because it's manifestation. That's why it's talking badly about yourself, saying negative things. Those things are also spells. And people, you know, I'm around people who do that often, and they're always like, why is this always happening to me? This, that. And I'm like, because you talk shit all day long. So.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's so true. It's crazy. Like just how important the self-talk is. Cause I know like personally for myself over the past like 2 years, I constant negative self-talk. I got a lot of like anxiety and depression whirling around, and I would just say I was a certain way. And as soon as I started to just speak it out loud and positively affirm myself, it was like life-changing.
Right.
Absolutely life-changing.
Yeah. I mean, I do it. It's a constant check-in. I still talk shit about myself all the time. I don't even realize I'm doing it in my head. I'm like, oh my God, why did I just say that about myself? No. But it's just like, it's a practice. It's just a constant practice. And I think that's really what has helped transform my, getting me out of my, you know, I guess you could call it depression or feeling like nothing was going my way, you know? So.
I think that's where kids can be really helpful too, because sometimes I notice like, you know, what do they say? Your kids are a mirror, something about a mirror. I don't know. But when the things I'm saying to my daughter, I'm like, what narrative, even just like the simplest little comments of how I respond to her when she's pissing me off or when she's doing this or that. I'm like, what narrative am I like imparting to her when I'm talking to her in this way or using this kind of language about her or about myself or about her dad or about, you know.
I think a lot of it is about yourself. I mean, I think it's so important for you to affirm yourself in front of your child, even if it feels awkward, because like, it's those acts like that I think they remember, and they start to know that it's not awkward to love on yourself. Oh, it's not weird to say, I'm beautiful.
Oh, I love my body.
I'm smart. Like even just saying that outside, and like my child is a constant reminder of that. Like I do it for her, but it also in turn helps me because I'm like, would I be doing this had she not been here? Now it's so important to me more than ever, because I don't want her to have to remember to do that, because I wasn't taught that. You know, I wasn't taught that. And there's no, you know, jab at my parents' parenting. It was just something that they weren't taught to do, to talk to themselves and to talk good to yourself and look in the mirror and touch your body and celebrate yourself publicly and say, yeah, I'm the shit, you know, and that's okay. You know, and I want my daughter to think like, wow, like even if I don't necessarily feel like the shit, like, that she saw me at least try, and I don't know, I just feel like it trickles down, and it's so important in all aspects. So. Oh,
100%. I mean, even like, you know, talking about body positivity, but then also, you know, like how am I communicating sex positivity? Like if I say I'm sex positive, but then when my daughter's touching herself in the bathtub and I like react in a certain way, it's like, okay, what am I teaching her when I do that? Even if she's like 17 months old, you know, what kind of narrative am I imparting?
Yeah, no, it's true. It's so cool being a parent, right? Because like you get the opportunity
to undo the program that you've been programmed, and then you get the opportunity to see it for what it is.
And just the fact that, you know, like we know, like because we have these conversations all the time and we're talking to people, at least for me, like when we've interviewed people, I have gained so much knowledge about how I can help change the narrative that I didn't even know, like were things that,
or later on,
ideas I could do, you know? And so it's really important, I think. And for me, like there's been those moments where like my daughter has been exploring her body, and like I'm triggered because I remember how my mom reacted. And then I see it now because I'm so aware too, having to check other people too, like having to check family members that will say shit or make shit weird. And I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. Like you're trying to protect this human that like you're responsible for, and you're like, don't interfucking fear.
Or even don't talk to me that way in front of my child. Like I had that. I had that moment in the past couple weeks, lots of family moving through with the baby and stuff. And I had a moment where I was just like, no, and I don't usually talk to my mom like this, but she said something and I was just like, no, like I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this right now. And I just walked out of the room. I mean, I was sleep deprived, so it kind of takes you to a certain edge, but I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, you're not going to talk to me this way. And I don't want you talking to me this way. And I don't want my kids hearing you talking to me this way. And
because you have it's like you go into mama bear mode,
right?
On mama.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I snapped
like,
at my mom a couple days ago. We were in Target and we were walking around, and all of a sudden my daughter's in the seat, and she is very loud. Her voice is very loud, and she just super super loudly in line is just like, Mimi, guess what? You have a vulva and a vagina. It's not just a vagina. And my mom
Great.
right away is like, shh, Ember, be quiet, be quiet. And I like snapped at my mom and I'm like, no, Mom, like you don't understand. I know you did your very best and you did a great job parenting me. But when you're telling my daughter to not talk about her vulva and vagina, like you're making her feel embarrassed to be open about these conversations. Like, don't tell her to
And I've tried so hard to normalize it.
Right.
So you're like, what? I knew that. That's wonderful.
She's screaming it from the mountaintops. And the thing is, it's just like, hey, if you're going to tell her to be quiet, maybe you have the conversation about like, hey, we're inside. Let's just take our voice down in general, but not to shush her
because of that.
Right. Exactly.
No, I totally get that too. My daughter was touching herself, or like she was just like spread open and just hanging out, and my mom was like, oh my God, don't do that. Do you think like, why do you think she did that? Like, what do you mean? Why do I think she did that? Like, I don't know. Why do you think she did that? And it's like, oh God, don't do that. So yeah, it's interesting to also, now having to, like I said, like react and have to check friends and people, because it's like you're working on the biggest project of your life. This is my project,
right?
Okay, and not a project, that sounds terrible, but you know what I mean. Like, this is my shit over here, and like I want to help. I want to do this my way. This is the one thing I get to do for like my way.
This is important. My contribution to humanity. So let me do it right.
And it's such an incredible way of unlearning for, like, I know for myself, I'm like, I've just been on this journey of unlearning as I'm parenting her. Like the other day when we were talking about like pieces of the anatomy and talking about sexuality because she's having more questions, I all of a sudden caught myself just explaining things from like a male female perspective and then involving sexuality like male and female. And all of a sudden I'm like, girlfriend, what are you doing? You're limiting your daughter's view to the scope of binary, first of all, and also making it like, well, this is a male genitalia and female, and they come together. It's like, no. This is exactly what happened to you. And then you didn't have the freedom to feel comfortable with other things. You were judgmental with other people, like just like all these binary terms. And all of a sudden I'm realizing, I'm like, oh my God, the way that I speak on a daily basis, like I need to work on that. And I have so much unlearning that I need to do. And it's just, it's so cool then to be able to instill it in your kid when then she's correcting me the other day about using, she's like, you should just say they. I'm like, okay, girlfriend.
Okay.
They catch on so much faster than we do.
Yeah, wow.
Damn, all right. But it's so good. It's such this unique opportunity to unlearn so much.
Yeah.
Okay, broads, let's pause for one quick moment. I am an absolute sucker for customization. Not only does it make every experience feel so premium, it just makes sense. Like, why would what works for my best friend or my mom or Bekah work the same for me? This is especially true when it comes to hair care. Most of you broads know that hair has been a struggle for me because of my alopecia. I'm often left with my thinning hair. It doesn't have much body to it, but let me tell you this. I started using Pros, I guess, about 6 months ago, and this stuff works. I get comments fairly frequently now that my hair is looking good, and thank you. I appreciate that. But
good.
Prose has helped
Love it.
my hair, giving it the best boost and thickening that I've gotten from any other shampoo and conditioner, and I'm really, really grateful.
Prose knows that there should be so much more that goes into determining your hair products than just what type of hair you have. So that's why you'll start the process with the in-depth hair quiz that really gets into the nitty-gritty of what could be affecting your hair, like specific foods, and how often you use heat on your hair, and surprising to me, your zip code. So the algorithm can create over 50 billion custom formula combinations based on your answers, so your exact concerns will be treated.
I'm obviously most focused on strengthening and thickening my hair. And like I said, wow, can I tell a difference over these past few months? I'm excited to see even more results as time goes on. And if my hair concerns change, or I feel like I want to adjust my formula because I'm going to be using different coloring on my hair, Prose makes it so easy with the review plus refine feature. No plans to change the color of my hair anytime soon. But honestly, the way 2020 is going, I wouldn't rule it out. Whatever I decide to do with my hair, I know for sure Prose has me covered.
Prose is the healthy hair regimen with your name all over it. Take your free in-depth hair quiz and you're going to get 15% off your first order today. You just have to go to prose.com/chatty. That's prose.com/chatty for your free in-depth hair quiz and 15% off your order.
So there are believed to be two very different belief systems amongst those with breasts. Those who think your bra should come off the second you walk in the door, and those who don't. I actually sort of feel like I'm in the middle of this Venn diagram. I want a little bit of support, but not too much. And I'm so happy because I found the perfect solution. It is the lounge bra from Third Love. It is so fantastic. I've worn it this entire season. Third Love is the most amazing bra company that is turning the bra industry upside down and actually catering to those with breasts. What a concept.
Yes, designed with measurements from millions. They have over 80 bra sizes available in so many cute styles. 80 sizes. You heard correctly, not the typical, 8 sizes? Finally, from push-up to plunge, I even got some of my favorite nursing bras from Third Love. They're really fantastic, and I also recommend Third Love to all my friends, especially those with large breasts because they have inclusive sizing. Anyway, you'll start off by taking their Fit Finder quiz, which just takes a few minutes, and they'll help you find the best size and style for you based on things like breast shape and ideal coverage. And after you're finished, you'll be able to shop your personalized recommendations. And if you still have questions, Third Love's team of fit stylists are always available to help via chat or email.
I'm telling you, in my opinion, the quality and comfort of their products is unparalleled. My Third Love bras are the ones that I'm constantly reaching for every morning. They're definitely the unsung heroes of my wardrobe. But of course, shopping for anything online can be scary. Third Love stands by their products, but if you don't love it, you have 60 days to return it, and Third Love will donate it to someone in need. And this is a purchase that you can really feel good about making in so many ways.
So Third Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone, and right now they're offering our listeners 15% off your first order. You just go to thirdlove.com/chatty and you'll find your perfect fitting bra, and you'll get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/chatty for 15% off today. Okay, I have another question real quick about, did it take a long time for you to get comfortable like identifying as like, hey, I'm a person who loves weed and I'm also a mom? And then like, I'm not guessing, I know there's also the added layer of the stigma of being Black too and being a mom who loves weed. Like, how was that a journey of being able to identify in that way at all? Because it's something that I still struggle with. I don't really talk about it. I'll joke about it on the podcast. I'll talk about like smoking weed in high school, but I don't really talk about what it looks like in my home, which it is, weed is like a very regular practice in our home. I still don't feel comfortable talking about that in a public space.
I think, I've been smoking weed since I was a teenager. I grew up in LA, so it was a lot more normalized here. It wasn't legal, but it was still secretive, but it wasn't like I knew I wasn't going to I wasn't going to go to jail for 10 years for smoking weed. I didn't have that fear in me where I know like a lot of people that do have, that they carry that stigma. It's because there's so many repercussions for it, possibly wherever you live or whatever. But my parents also smoked weed growing up. They hid it from me, but I knew they did. So I was like, I think when I was pregnant, I didn't smoke. I really followed the rules like to a motherfucking T when I was pregnant because I just was scared. I was really scared. My doctor made me scared. Everything had to be perfect. I was like, I'm cool. And the one times I think maybe I tried to smoke once, and I also didn't like the smell of smoke. But after I had my daughter, I mean, it was like, I need this more than ever now. I just felt like, why would I don't, it's my personal choice. It doesn't affect me in a negative way. In fact, it makes me a better parent in so many different ways. And I didn't feel like I carried that shame or guilt. I do think that like I didn't talk to my parents about it. Probably because I felt like I couldn't, just based off childhood shit of them not sharing it with me. But I don't know. I think if you are someone who smokes weed and are afraid to tell people, then just don't, because people will judge you. They will. But
I feel like people are going to judge you for everything, anything. I think it's important. Like I started to see marijuana as a medicine. It heals people. It does a lot of different things. And I think because we're from California, from LA, it is kind of more normalized. My parents hid it from me. Probably when I was in high school, I was allowed to smoke with them. And then I smoked with my grandmother. And I think I saw someone when I was like in college, I saw a family show the plant to their kids. And like, oh, look at this flower. And they passed it around and they was like, oh, this pretty flower. And even in college, I knew, okay, that was going to be when I have kids, that was going to be how I associated to my kids, because that didn't make sense for it to make it this big, scary thing. Mm-hmm. So with Luna, it's like, this is a plant. This is mommy's flower. Mommy smokes. And, I know it's about like if she goes back in school and says it, but again, we're in LA, we're in California, it's legal. Mm-hmm. And I think she knows when it's appropriate to say it and knows when it's not. And like, as a Black woman, there's going to be a lot of things there are more stigmatized when we do. I'm aware of that. I'm a Black woman. Smoking weed, being a single mom, there's all those things, but it's just like, I still have to be true to myself. And because of that, I feel like I have a responsibility, to be honest, to normalize it, because everybody smokes weed, and it should be normalized, whether we're Black and there's more stigma, or whether you're a white mom and it's cannabis and it's cool, whatever it is. I think
cannabis is cool,
right? You know what I mean? Because it's commercialized or whatever. But the truth of the matter is like, everybody's smoking weed, and the more honest I am about it, if I'm able to bear that cross, fuck it. Because more women should be able to say, hey, I'm a mom, I'm a brown mom, I'm a Black mom, I'm a white mom, and I like to smoke weed, and I'm perfectly capable of parenting my child and responsibly smoking weed.
I think what's frustrating too is that we have to justify it like, oh, it's a healing plant. Like, even if it's not, whatever, like mom alcoholism is normalized every fucking day. Like, the kids go to bed, I drink a whole bottle of wine. Ha! Like, that's like on Pinterest, a thing. Right. Like, why do you have to justify marijuana as being like a healing herb? Why can't I just say I like to get high, and like whatever, you like to get drunk?
Well, it's just the whole you see now that marijuana has become more normalized, that it's all marketing. They villainized it, because they didn't feel like they could monetize it, but now that they can, it's totally cool to put it in everything, So I think of course there's a bigger stigma about like with if you're a Black or brown person consuming any sort of recreational whatever, but for me, I'm a true believer in do what works for you. Check in with yourself. If you feel like whatever you're doing is interfering with whatever it is, work, parenthood, life, then maybe don't do it. But if you smoke weed and you still feel like you're fully functional, it helps. For me, it helps curb my anxiety. It helps me be more playful with my kid. I can fucking play hide and go seek for 30 more minutes, and I'm cool with that. Pain. So, you have to do what's right for you. And I am just, obviously, me and Jamilah, we're different. We feel free talking about it. But if you still want to indulge, just don't. If you don't want to feel judged, people message us all the time, like, how do I not get judgment from my family for smoking weed? I'm like, well, don't tell them.
Oh yeah.
Shit, don't.
I mean, either tell them and bear that cross,
And have to curse out a couple of people and let them know this is my house, this is how I do it.
or just don't tell them and do what you gotta do, girl. Like,
Right.
You have the right to not divulge everything.
right. Like, you know,
why we have chosen to, I don't know. Honestly, it's just what's happening.
I just really want other people to feel like Jamilah said. I just want people to feel like shit is normal. It helps me feel more normal. So maybe it's selfish. I don't know.
No. Watching, like I've said, I mean, I've listened to your guys' podcast for a while now, and it's when you all are open. Like Bekah and I have talked about this on the podcast before, and I need to do this. I have smoked weed once in my life and had a horrible experience, so I've never tried it again. And we're like, I need to try it on the podcast, like live.
You should
see what happens, because I haven't touched it. But seeing you both openly talking about sex, about weed, like when the kids pop in and you'll just be like, you gotta get out of here, please. Like that is so, it's like a weight is lifted off of so many parents' shoulders. Like, and because it's just the ability to know, like, I know I'm doing this. And so, yeah, even if you're not comfortable getting behind a mic and talking about it, God bless for both of you, because it makes so many of us feel way less lonely.
No, I mean, and even if you don't indulge in all the things that we do, just know, like, we're still good moms, and you're probably even greater because you're not going out on the weekends and whatever. I'm just saying, like,
self-care looks different for everybody.
Yeah.
And we all are going through some shit. Raising humans is hard. So let's just respect each other and, have each other's back in the supermarket and at the airport. And whatever I do in my private time is what I do. Whatever I talk about is my business. And that's it. Don't be putting your 2 cents in. Don't be judging me. Just support me. Support each other.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as long as nobody's in actual danger. Thank you. Then everything.
Oh, wow. That's sweet. Look at
That's what
that.
happens when there's no Wi-Fi anywhere. You can't use any Wi-Fi.
Ruth also wants to say hi real quick.
Oh, hi. Hey, kitty.
Hi.
Okay, what's up? What you doing over here?
Speaking of get out of here. Let's so we can. Okay. Oh my God.
Aww.
Hi, bye. Okay. Anyway, with that, it was so lovely having you ladies on to chat.
Yes.
Oh my
It
goodness,
was so
thank
lovely.
you so much.
I want to hang out with you guys
I
real
know,
life
real
one
life.
day.
Me too.
I'm like, I feel like we could just keep going. I'm like,
down to hang, like,
yeah.
you want to expand your quarantine circle?
Yeah, if you guys quarantine,
We'll hang outside at your backyard in open space
next
with
to
the
the
fire. The
open
fire
air.
will kill any viruses.
I have a hot tub, so
Oh, don't tempt me with a hot tub.
we love a hot tub.
got it right before quarantine. Best purchase ever.
The
It's so
timing
good.
of it all. The timing of it all.
I need to get a fucking hot tub for sure.
Well,
Worth
will
it.
you please let all of our listeners know anything that's coming out of yours,
yeah,
or where
plug
they can all
away.
find you? Please plug away. And again, Broads will put all this info in the episode notes.
Well, you can find us on Instagram at goodmoms_bad choices. We're on all podcasting platforms, Apple, Spotify, all those other ones. And we also have extra episodes and more actual content that you don't see on our Instagram that is actually really fucking hilarious and amazing and informative also on our Patreon. So if you go to goodmomsbadchoices.com, I'm sorry, patreon.com/goodmomsbadchoices, you can find us there. What else am I missing? Join our newsletter, go on our website.
Goodmomsbadchoices.com.
Everything's Good Moms Bad Choices. Everything.
Amazing.
You guys got that domain. Good for you.
Hit us up. We hit us up. We love talking to like all of our mamas, and
We do a segment called Horries, where you submit your horries, most whorish, horrific horror stories. Even if they're scary, even if they're crazy, if they're just fun and horrid. So please, we need more.
we always need more.
You too, you guys too, submit your horror stories.
Oh, I
will.
I
You
absolutely
can submit
will.
them anonymously. We just or they can be like, "This is brought to you by Chatty Broads." This Hori is
brought to you by Chatty Broads.
And also you both do, like, one of my most favorite things is what you do with all of the selfies. I'm obsessed. You both take incredible nude selfies, and you
I have to go follow.
Yes, it's the best follow.
We encourage our listeners to send us nudes. Please send us nudes.
Because if you don't have anyone to send your nudes to, just send them to us. Or if like you want to send them to like a guy where you're not sure,
You want to see it first?
Yeah, send them to us. We'll tell you, like, it works out.
It's my most favorite thing after once this pandemic started and I was just stuck up in the house and you both started posting some of your hot photos. I started on a regular basis going into my back room, taking sexy videos and photos of myself. And it has been the most empowering, best thing, because I'm feeling hot, even if I'm covered in marker and my hair is all over the place.
Fun.
I can go into my room, take my hot selfie for myself, and look at it as much as I want to.
Send them to us. Send them to us. We're here. We're here for you.
I will. Well, thank you so much, Erica and Jamilah. We appreciate you both so much.
Sorry,
and,
I just got in the hole trying to find your Instagrams. Meanwhile, thank you guys so much. That was such a blast.
Yes,
Thank you.
Broads, make sure check out that podcast. You won't regret it. And chat soon.
Chat soon. Bye.